Okay, well, you read the title, so you know what we're talking about. We are talking about sex baby today. So if you got littles around, maybe put some earbuds in or something. Um, Say hello. Let me know where you're coming from or watching from. This is the first time I'm doing this Hot Mess Monday at this hour, so hopefully I'll have some more people to talk to. I'm just kind of playing with hours right now for personal reasons and to see if I can get my friends to be able to see at different time zones. So anyway, happy Hot Mess Monday, you guys. My name is Sugar Jones. I'm your hot mess in residence. And today, like the title says, we're talking about sex, baby. But it's not going to be like pornographic sex that is shameful. So this is going to be the spiritual side of sexuality. So don't get all like crazy or whatever. And for those of you that don't like that my boobs show, you certainly aren't going to like this conversation. So maybe just log off. Don't leave a comment. Bye-bye. We're going to talk to adults today. All right, so I am about a week out from, actually a week ago today, I came back. I ended up back home from what I call sex camp. It was a a spiritual shamanic sexual experience. We went out into the middle of the desert in Arizona. It was absolutely beautiful. I met 50 or so strangers that became some of my closest friends within a week, especially after everything that we shared. And I also discovered so many things, not necessarily just about myself, but about life and love and relationships and sexuality and communication and how to honor those sacred spaces of our lives. So I know a lot of times we talk about sex in the shadows. We talk about sex as something seedy, something to sneak around and do, something like we all kind of giggle. We all kind of make the little, but it's a beautiful expression of life and love. And one of the things that it really hit me when I heard it was that our ladies, our vagina, our vagina is the portal between heaven and earth. And I was like, damn, that's amazing. And we treat it like it's something to be hidden, something bad, something, something to just not talk about. It's the portal between heaven and earth. Think about that. And gentlemen, think about that also. So honor that portal. And of course, there's gentlemen have like amazing experiences as well. And I had so much insight into the male perspective of what goes on in relationships and in not knowing and not kind of feeling the right, knowing how to approach or how to pull back or what's expected or how to do a lot of things that aren't taught to you and how to actually just please the woman in your life or women in your life and like different levels of relationships. So like you can have boyfriend, girlfriend, husband and wife, you can have absolutely nothing that on the other end. And in between, you can have different nuances of that. You can have your primary partner that maybe you flirt and like cuddle and snuggle and kiss other people. And maybe another level of it might be that you have ethical non-monogamy where you are partners with multiple people and it's clear. You're not just cheating around. Like it's made clear to all the partners what the situation is. I know that will shake a lot of people, but it's just kind of the way things are, you guys. And then there's also just like, there's just people that are just like the smash and grabbers that are just like never going to call you again. That's not so great either. So today I wanted to talk about RBDSM, not BDSM, RBDSM. And it's kind of a conversation that we really should be having before we're engaging in that sacred sexuality. Now, if you're at a bar and you're cozying up to somebody and you're just, like getting a little at the bar and just like kind of, we're doing this, and you're just going to run out to the car and slam it out, that's one way to do it. But if you're like starting to like have a conversation with somebody, you're out to dinner, the conversation's going well, there's a vibe going on, there's a sexual energy happening, you know that there may be sex at the end of the night. What's the conversation that you should be having? You're not just going to be like, so did you want to come up to my place for a nightcap? And or I'm too drunk to drive home, can I sleep on your couch? Not that I've ever used that one before. But anyway, all of those things, it's kind of like sneaky and manipulative. Why don't we just be clear about what our intentions are? And why don't we have a great conversation so that there's no hurt feelings, no, wrong expectations. So one of the things that I learned at sex camp that I couldn't wait to share with everybody, because I thought, oh my gosh, how many situations might have been alleviated, how many bad conversations, how many hurt feelings might have been missed just by having this conversation. Okay, so it's RBDSM, and I gotta go through my notes, and I lost my readers, they're over there. Okay, well, whatever, I hope I wrote big enough. So RBDSM, where is it? Okay, here it is. All right, so here's the conversation that may or may not happen before you get jiggy with it. Hopefully it does. Hopefully it's something that you stop and think about. Hopefully you're not so inebriated or intoxicated with love and that pulsating sexual feeling that you're not stopping to think about this, because we've all woken up the next day and been like, this doesn't feel good. I don't feel right about what happened last night. I'm a little upset about them leaving or them not leaving, or them, expecting a call, or them not calling, or the text or the not text, or whatever. So nobody likes that feeling, and it feels pretty crappy for a while, and it can start to erode your confidence, and it can start to erode your soul. Like every time you engage with somebody, you're giving a little piece of yourself away. So wouldn't it be great if we're all honoring that piece, right? So it's RBDSM. It's a conversation that you're having before sex. Ideally, this is the conversation. So R is for relationship. Are you in another relationship? Is there somebody that's going to be really pissed off, really hurt, really sad that you're here engaging in this activity? Yes or no? Is that the person? Be honest. Be honest. If it means that you don't have sex that night, I'm sorry, you don't have sex that night, because that's not cool. It's not cool for anybody. It's not cool for the person that's missing, and it's not cool for the person that's there, because you're already starting off with a lie, and we are so conditioned to lie to get each other into bed or to get each other to do certain things that we don't actually stop and have these honest conversations. So are you in a relationship with somebody? What are the parameters of that relationship? Do you have permission to, sleep with other people, kiss other people, cuddle with other people? Is it okay that you're even having dinner or like out just kind of flirting with somebody at a bar? That's a possibility. That may be a thing. It's not always cheating when there's a relationship and also this other thing. So and also, that brings us to the next thing. What are your boundaries? So you want to make your playground very clear. So if you don't like certain things, you're just going to say, I don't like this, or, no, none of this, none of that. I absolutely love this. That's actually desires, boundaries and desires. So you're going to say what you don't want, and you're going to give your desires of what you would like. How great would that be? For both people, for the giver and the receiver on both sides. If somebody's giving, they know what that person wants. They don't have to second guess. They don't have to be like, this one thing worked with that one person, I hope it works with this person too, and then just keep going at it until it's, dead and it's actually not working. So express your boundaries, express your desires, ask what the boundaries are, ask what the desires are, just be like, so what is it that, turns you on? What is it that you enjoy? What a great conversation. I'm getting a little steamy just thinking about that. That's actually, what you think about it, that is kind of like a steamy little conversation. What is it that you enjoy? And what is it that you're just hands off? There's none of this and there's none of that. But over here, that's all good, my friend. Whew. All right. And then you're going into S. So we've got RBDS, sexual history. So that lends itself to health. Do you have a panel of, are you clean? Have you had your STD checkup lately? When was the last time you tested? How many sexual partners do you have? Do you have a condom? Because if you're like all over the place, swapping fluids with people and possibly endangering the lives of others, I don't want to have anything to do with you. That's coming nowhere near my erogenous zones. But if it's something that we're clear on, and yes, we're both healthy individuals, and yes, we have protection, and all of that is very clear, then you can continue moving forward. If that's a no, you guys, don't let that desires conversation that got all hot and steamy railroad over that. That's your health. That's your body. That's your life. Yes, we have all kinds of medications that can, help with all of our STDs or flare-ups or whatever else that goes on in this world, whatever is floating around in the community. But wouldn't it be so much better to just have a healthy, clean slate? Healthy, clean slate. Sorry, I'm just a little proud of that. But that's super duper important. I mean, and especially now that we've had this whole COVID thing where everybody's just got super clean and super concerned about their health, please continue that level of concern for your parts and for everything in your body. You don't need to be having any kind of like herpes flare up sometime when you have finally gotten together with the man of your dreams. And all of a sudden you're like, I can't do it because one time 10 years ago, I wasn't careful and a partner passed something on to me. What a drag. What a way to kill the mood. So that's definitely something to talk about. And these are things that nobody talks about because they're quote unquote shameful. They're things we talk about in the shadows. And when we talk about those things in the shadows and we do not bring them up to light, that's how those problems spread. That's how communities can be infiltrated with this kind of health and disease or bad health and disease. And you don't want that. And you want to be the kind of person that spreads joy and love and happiness and juicy sex, not STDs. Come on, be good, be a good adult. Don't be an idiot. And the last thing, RBDSM. What does this mean to you? What is tonight going to mean to you? What's the meaning you're attaching to what is about to happen? Do you believe that after tonight, we are going to be a couple? Do you believe that after tonight, I'm blocking your number and I'm never seeing you again? Do you believe that I'm going to be there in the morning when you wake up, or that you're going to be there in the morning when I wake up, that we're having breakfast tomorrow, maybe lunch, maybe even just like decide to make it an entire day the next day. And oh my gosh, we're going to introduce each other to each other's families. What is your meaning that you're attaching to this interaction? If it's something that's more, if you are the person that is attaching the meaning of, I just really want to have sex tonight. I just really want to have a really hot, passionate evening with you tonight. And I'd like to wake up at midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I guess you're probably still doing it at midnight. I don't know, maybe like 4 o'clock in the morning. You want to get dressed and head home and get to your own bed and take a shower in the morning. Make that clear. Make that clear on both ends. I'm not talking about just the guy or the girl. I've like been the sneaker outer most of the time. And I not proud of that because that's probably not very nice either, but it's just easier. That's what I used to think. But if I had these conversations before, maybe I wouldn't like leave a guy hanging and hurt somebody's feelings. And, if he thought that, tomorrow he and I are going to have breakfast together and, that I'm suddenly going to be like his go-to person on his speed dial, then we have a miscommunication. And if that's what the meaning is that person's putting to it, then you stop. Again, every single step of the way, you have a chance to stop and disengage. And maybe that means that you're not having sex tonight. Too bad. Tough shit. It's better than causing any harm mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually to another human being. Sexuality is amazing. It is so beautiful and sacred, and it's the fullness of life, right? Wouldn't it be so great if we treated it like that? If we treated each other like beautiful sacred beings when we're engaging in this physical activity, where we're sharing this energy exchange, where we're sharing this beautiful, joyful, physical attraction and just that juicy goodness. How great would that be to just be in your full sovereignty, where you know what's going to happen, and you know where you're going, you know where you're playing, you know what your boundaries are, you know you're safe. You know you're safe, and you know you're going to have a great time, and you know tomorrow morning there's not going to be any shame because you've already had that discussion. I know a lot of you people have never had that conversation. I know I've certainly never had that conversation. I had to practice it several times. Not that I was like popping at anybody's beds over and over again at camp or anything. It was just that we learned to have these conversations, and we had to be very, very honest and like role play and be like, okay, well, this is what I would want out of this. And it was, even though I was role playing with a person that I was not going to be having sex with, I was still very uncomfortable the first couple of times, because I'm like, wait a minute, what? I have to like express to you right now my boundaries, my desires, the meaning I'm attaching to this. That's a lot. That's like vulnerable to the 10th, 100th degree. But that vulnerability, I mean, you're opening your sex organs up to somebody. What's more vulnerable than that? Let's have those emotionally strong and intelligent and great communication conversations. I don't know if that made any sense. Read the transcripts later. But let's have those conversations before we jump into having that great juicy sex. And let's see how things change, how things improve, how we get to really, really enjoy our full sexuality, our full blossoming, our fullness, period. So, all right, you guys, I have so many other things to share with you. If you have any questions about sex camp, let me know. It's not for everybody. It's definitely not for the pearl clutchers. If any of this conversation made you the slightest bit squeamish, definitely do not talk to me about this camp. But if it's something that you're interested in exploring, it's a camp that's going to take you to your edges. It's a camp that's going to make you go way past your comfort zone, and you're going to find yourself on the other side. It's pretty amazing. I am completely transformed, and I'm not ashamed to tell you that I absolutely loved every minute of it, even the hard parts. At the end, after it all was said and done, I just looked back and was like, man, I am a whole new, beautiful being right now, and I love it. All right, so I have nothing else to share for that perspective today. So I'll talk to you guys next week. Probably going to talk a little bit more about some other good stuff. I'm looking through my notes. There's some really juicy tidbits that I'd love to share. Maybe we'll talk about the 4 kinds of sex, or maybe not. Maybe we'll talk about some other stuff, but we'll definitely be talking a little bit more about pleasure. All right. Well, you guys, it's been a great Monday night. How about you? Have a great evening, and I will see you later.